What's the weirdest thing a guest has done in your home? My mom invited a lady over for lunch, and they had met a week or so before at the hospital coffee shop when my mom was visiting a friend. She said she was the nurse for an anesthetist. We are all having a nice lunch and about to finish it off with tea and cake when she asks to use the toilet. We direct her to the downstairs guest toilet, but instead she went upstairs. After about 15 minutes, she was not back, and my mom asked me to check on her. She was taking a bath! She kept calling me to come in and bring her stuff. No way in hell was I going in. She even asked me to bring her a razor blade to shave her legs. A 2-hour bath! No, she was not homeless, just batshit crazy. Was having a board meeting at my house. First person arrives agitated and says they really need to use the bathroom. After the meeting, I go into the bathroom to find the back of the toilet and seat and down the sides, covered in shit. No comment, no, hey, I had a little accident. I have no memory if anyone else tried to use the bathroom or not, but I was mortified. He unscrewed the towel rack in the bathroom and threw it away while I was at work. When asked about it, he said it was unhygienic to hang towels on a rack and I should be draping them over the shower rod instead. Actually, draping over the shower rod promotes mildew growth because the towels trap moisture on the curtain longer if it's closed, and leaving a wet curtain open does the same thing. This guy was an absolute moron. The guy is definitely a moron, but also an entitled, self-absorbed one because who the hell goes into someone's house and does stuff like that? Well, besides a person's mom. I had a friend visiting over the weekend. She had a well-paying job at the time I was still in college, struggling to make ends meet every month. I had to work the morning she wanted to take the train home, so I told her before leaving to help herself with things from my fridge to make herself some sandwiches for the journey, about 6-hour ride. When I came home, she had helped herself indeed to my week's worth of groceries. The only thing she didn't take was some milk and a quarter of a watermelon. I nearly cried. Wow, this is so disrespectful. Are you still friends? Sadly, I've had things like this happen to me too. An ex-friend of mine hit hard times and I offered my spare room. When she moved out, she'd helped herself to a lot of my clothes, trainers, and home items. I was so upset. Needless to say, we're not friends anymore. Did you ever get an apology or an explanation from your friend? I wasn't home at the time, but my mom was, and she told me what happened. A family acquaintance was passing through town and called to ask if he could stop in and say hello. It seemed a bit odd as we didn't know him terribly well, but my mom said okay. So he stopped in, said hi, nice to see you, and asked if he could use the bathroom. He then had the foulest case of diarrhea known to God or man, after which he bid a quick goodbye and left. My mom was sitting on the back porch when I got home. She'd opened all the windows and turned on the fans. The smell was that bad, and it permeated the whole house. Too long didn't read? Acquaintance used our house as a rest stop, committed diarrhea, and left behind a stench we wouldn't soon forget. Family friend visiting from out of town slipped while coming down the stairs and broke her leg, which led to her having surgery. After her release from the hospital, we obviously gave her a space to come and recover until the follow-up with her surgeon. After the 1-week follow-up, her children were going to pick her up and take her home. About 5 hours driving. She told them not to bother because we were so capable and willing to take care of her, and she didn't want to be a distraction from their studies. I was also a student and had studying to do, but that meant nothing to her. She would sleep in short spells during the day and stay up all night talking loudly on the phone. She would ask me to cook healthy food for her and praise my cooking but hardly eat. Then she would ask someone else to bring her McDonald's because she was so hungry later in the day. I had to take her to the bathroom and bathe her and change her and it's more than my own mother asked of me when she had a hip replacement. That woman stayed with us for 2 months. This happened about 15 years ago, and no one in my family has spoken to her or her kids since then. Left a ball of cocaine on the counter in our guest bathroom. Our kids' bathroom to be exact. We were playing board games that night. He left and we went to bed. The next morning at 5 a.m., I got up for water and used their bathroom and saw it just sitting next to my kids' toothbrushes. I was livid. Woke my husband up and we decided to flush it and not tell him we found it, just to let him freak out for a few days. He lasted 2 before calling us. He's not allowed over anymore and is now down a septum and soft palate. My friend came to visit from out of state date and brought her new boyfriend Joey. We had never met him before this. Here's how he made his debut. 1. He unplugged the television in the living room, the only one in the house, and took it to the guest room because he couldn't sleep without a television. He never set it back up when he left. 2. He threw an industrial-strength magnet at our fridge after being told it could dent metal. 3. He asked the waiter at the Mexican restaurant for the special salsa, you know, the one they keep in the back, while giving the waiter a wink. 4. Asked if he could take a look through our loose change jar in case there was a coin worth something. 5. And my personal favorite, after being told our downstairs toilet was out of commission, he proceeded to go to the bathroom, take off the painter's tape holding the lid down to discourage idiots from using the toilet, remove the sign on said toilet that stated broken, and take a dump. Needless to say, their pre-planned week-long stay shortened to 3.5 days. But now, anytime something goes wrong in our house, one of us yells, "Freaking Joey!" and the other responds, "What a douche." So at least we have that. He rearranged the entire kitchen. It was f***ing ridiculous. We got most of it put back after he left, but missed a fire extinguisher. So when I accidentally started a small fire on the stove, no one could find it. I tried to put it out while my mom searched for the extinguisher. She found it in the garage for some reason, but not before the fire ruined 2 burners and gave me second-degree burns on my hands. So anyone reading this, put the fire extinguisher across from where the stove is. Sometimes people put it under the stove, but you don't want to put your face near the fire to bend over to grab the extinguisher from the cabinet under the stove. I put mine under the sink since my knee-jerk reaction to fire is water, and then sense takes over and I grab the extinguisher instead.